Let me tell you about Hill Harper, 2 degrees from Harvard. An actor, philanthropist, activist, and an author. When I read letters to a young brother, that made me sharper. His biggest role yet was becoming a single father. You might have seen him on CSI and The Good Doctor. He graduated law school with Barack Obama. Yeah. Dedicated to a life of service, living in your purpose, here your roses you deserve. Dear Hill, peace is C5. I had to let you know the impact you had on my life. I used to be a troubled youth, I was scared of my mother, so she got me your book, Letters to a Young Brother. I had to write you back, help me get my life on track. You made me proud to be black, and damn, you can act. He got game in too deep, them was class. You got 8 honorary degrees, dog, that's massive. You always giving back to the people, the youth especially. You built a foundation. Manifest your destiny. You own several companies on multiple executive boards, and you won 7 NAACP awards. 5 books, 4 times best-selling author. You adopted a kid, and you a proud single father. I heard you running for Senate. You sure got my vote. You get brought the people hope. Let me tell you about Hill Harper, 2 degrees from Harvard. An actor, philanthropist, activist, and an author. When I read letters to a young brother, that made me sharper. All right, everyone, and welcome to Ahead of the Crypto Curve, where we are creating Satoshi millionaires, one family at a time, one day at a time, one Bitcoin at a time, one Satoshi at a time, and ladies and gentlemen, that means you. I am your host, Naja Roberts, and it is my mission in life to lead my people out of financial slavery. I don't just do this show to change the way you think about money, but I do this show to make you change the way you look at money and everything else around you, because it absolutely matters. Today is Wednesday, April 5th, 2022, and what an incredibly great day it is. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I don't have any Cryptopians whose birthday is today that I know of, but if it is your birthday, I would like to wish you all the love, joy, peace, and happiness you deserve on this day. But what I do know is that today, many brilliant children will be born. And prayerfully, one of those children will be one of the ones that come forth and change the way we do business, change the world, change everything in and around them. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, I am just ushering in April 5th because I'm super excited. Y'all just heard that beautiful song that was written by a young man named C5 for actor, philanthropist, father, my business partner, my brother, my friend, actor Hill Harper. And as you just heard it on KBLA first, he is running for senator of Michigan. Whoop, whoop. I'm super excited about that. And I'm excited to be a part of the legacy that he's leaving and being the change that we want to see. And we all the time, he and I talk about the things that we need to do to get into the spaces we need to get into to really create change. And I have to tell you, I am going to live vicariously through Hill. And Hill is going to the hill. That's my saying. But you know why I'm living vicariously through him? Because several years back, when I was the president of National Congress of Black Women View Park Section, National Council of Negro Women View Park Section. Let me make that correction. When I was the president, I actually sought out to figure out if I really wanted to run for some sort of office, be it in the council district. I remember when Marquise Dawson first came on, because I was actually going to run as well. And I actually pulled Ambassador Diane Watson to the side, and she spent some time tutoring me and really sharing what her life as a politician was like. And after listening to her and talking about her experiences and her challenges and all the things that she had to face in the different positions that she held, I made a decision that it really wasn't my life's work to be a politician. And at that time, I was still a financial advisor, and I could really feel in my guts that it was financial services that was going to be my destiny, what I was going to give back to the Most High for giving back
allowing me to give to his people. But I really couldn't figure out exactly what I needed to do and how I needed to do it until I found this thing called Bitcoin. And so I really feel like I am full circle right now today as actor, father, best friend. Just he's not my best friend. He's a very good friend. My brother is running for Senate. I'm just telling Michigan, if you're listening and you got family in Michigan, tell them to stand up, show up to the polls, and let's get Hill Harper into the Senate. You know, I know this brother, and I really know it's hard. And I'm not here. I know we're not supposed to be doing politics, and this is ahead of the crypto curve. But I am super, super, super jacked up sideways about the fact that he is actually running. But I'm gonna tell you this: what I do know of that brother, he is not going to be like the rest of the politicians that tell you one thing, and then when they get in office, they do something entirely different because that just ain't his get up. And so, with that, ladies and gentlemen, when we come forward, we are going to talk about cryptocurrency. We are also going to talk about digital assets. We're going to talk about hard assets because I've had a lot of questions about that lately, and my phone has been ringing off the hook, but you can't hear about that till we come forward. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
So what's happening is we have been perpetually doing every single thing they told us. But y'all, I'm here to tell y'all, if it ain't changed in 158 years after slavery ended, it ain't gonna change unless we get in our own system. And the system is Bitcoin specifically. I'm not in here talking about get rich quick. I'm talking about it's gonna take us 5 to 10 years of playing chess. This money game is a chess game. This ain't checkers, and they ain't playing with us. So if you really, really want to do something for yourself, do something for your kids, do something for your family, start strategically thinking about how to put $6 away worth of Bitcoin. We're not telling you to run out and get 30,000. I am actually out here begging our community to do something different than we've been doing because they don't care about us. They are not coming to save us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome forward. Welcome forward. I know y'all hear me. I am so hyped up today. And after listening to that beautiful song by C5 to Hill Harper, I literally came up with another quote. And I'm just on one about these quotes. But I'm just going to say this because I am at this fabulous KBLA Talk 1580 unapologetically progressive radio station that will not black down. I came up with this quote. It says, time out, ladies and gentlemen, for trying to appeal to those who act like they ignore us but steal all of our ideas. It's time out for showing up to conferences where people who get the information don't care about the people that need the information the most. It's time to show up. It's time to show out and give the right people the information about how to get a hold of this wealth transfer. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it is happening and it is our turn. That is Miss Naja Roberts. And I love that quote today. I just came up with that because I am on fire, because today's market is changing so quickly, ladies and gentlemen, and you cannot afford to fall behind. So I'm going to ask each and every one of you, because this station is making history. This station is off the hook. We are being notarized. We're getting we're getting noticed, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting noticed on platforms all over the place. And you have got to reach out to your friends and family. I don't care if they're in Michigan, where Hill is running for Senate, if they're down in Florida, if they're in Atlanta, if they're up in Maine, ladies and gentlemen, please get them to download the app, because this information that we are sharing with you is making the news. And another thing I want to tell you is the information that I'm sharing with you on a daily basis is actually starting to come out in the regular mainstream media. Now, that may be surprising to some of you, because some of you think a lot of the stuff that you're hearing is maybe a little bit of a conspiracy theory. And I'm going to teach you today how to check on a couple of those things. But I will say this, my phone has been ringing off the hook. And why is that? Because months ago, I started talking about the banks failing. Months ago, I started talking about how inflation was rising, probably about 2 years ago on my first tour, and trying to make sure that we understood that we were getting ready to be in a time where money was going to dry up and we needed to spend responsibly. Nevertheless, we are starting to hear more and more of the things that I've talked about, either on the radio or in person at some of these events that I attend. And I have to say, today, I have been overwhelmed with my phone ringing by people that feel like they're in a state of emergency because something I said is actually coming true in their life. Most of the phone calls, ladies and gentlemen, that are happening is because people's small amounts of money, and I hate to say small because $2 is a lot, but small amounts of money are starting to disappear from people's accounts. And they're starting to disappear very, very interestingly. So they disappear from their account. Wires are happening. Banks don't know what's going on. And they're playing a game with our community. Those people, if you're one of those people that think that your money is safe and you haven't looked at an account or you got money sitting somewhere, check on it, because you need to check what you expect. And so you got to inspect it. You got to inspect it all the time. You got to make sure that it's there, because one of those calls was somebody saying, I had a couple of $1,000 sitting in an account and I haven't touched it because it was for my savings, and I don't even open up those statements. And when I went to look, there was only about $5 left in that account. Ladies and gentlemen, this is happening. It is real. And there is a problem happening with our banking system, regardless to what you believe, but regardless to whether you think this is just something that's fly by night, there are some issues happening. And so I want to tell you, one of the other things that is starting to happen is they're starting to talk about central bank digital currencies on all different medias. And people are starting to call me saying, hey, what was that thing you were talking to me about? And now I have the liberty of saying, you know what? Download the app, KBLA Talk 1580, and every single day I'm teaching. I'm not giving up any personal time when you don't take the time to download a free app that Tavis Smiley has afforded you the opportunity to listen to learn what you need to learn. Not just from me, ladies and gentlemen. There are a bunch of fabulous hosts on KBLA that are making the news. We are telling you the real about what the Black and brown community needs to do to ensure that we have a 365 holistic approach to changing our lives. And if you don't get the right information, you're not going to have the right direction that you're going in this precarious time. And so I told y'all I'm on fire today, because we've got to do something different than we've been doing. We cannot continue to sit around and think that things are going to happen if we don't do anything different, ladies and gentlemen. And so I digress, because I'm losing my voice. Y'all know I get passionate about my people. I am passionate about making sure that we get and do the things that we need to do. And so I am right here, right now, with my heart saying to you, by any means necessary, get your friends, your family, your foes to download the KBLA app and figure out which one of these personalities you're going to listen to. Maybe you want to learn about old money. Maybe you don't need to know about cryptocurrency, and you don't need to know about how money works and the structures that put these monies in play. Maybe you need to get a laugh. I mean, there's so many things that you can listen to on KBLA. I just really would challenge each and every one of you to leave KBLA on your radio all day as you work, all day as you clean up, because there is some phenomenal information that is coming across these airwaves, and you have got to get it. And you have got to get it now. The people that are calling me because they feel like the sky is falling, they absolutely need to know. I feel like the sky is falling. You know why? Because wealth is being transferred right under our feet, right under our eyes, right under our nose, and we're sitting around not getting involved in what's happening, but wondering what's happening. I'm trying to share this information with you all. I love you. I appreciate you. And I just need to say that today because I just know I am on one. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to go ahead and again digress as I get into today's show to help you really, really understand how incredibly important it is that we gather assets right now. I want to say to each and every one of you that these next few months will turn into a next few years because time is going so fast. But I want us to start to gather assets. And last night we had an incredible call for our event that I had where I was sharing with people what our next chess moves are and what we need to be doing as a community. It was called Mission Critical. And I just want to say that it is imperative that we are looking at all the different types of assets that are out there. Yes, I'm here on Ahead of the Crypto Curve talking to each and every one of you about digital assets. But ladies and gentlemen, there are also hard assets. And I've shared a little bit about Bitcoin as a digital. And then I am sharing about gold as a hard, but there's other hard assets too as well. And so as we talk today, I am going to make sure that we always run this back to digital currency, cryptocurrency, so that you understand how it plays a role in what we're doing today. But I have got to make sure that I inspire you to really learn how to untangle the messy ways that government policies actually impact our finances. And so I'm going to continue to give you this education from all sorts of different directions, all sorts of different topics, because it is obvious that the way we knew things, they're not the same. The way we do things, they're not the same. And we've got to go into this next 10 years with a whole new approach to thinking. And so I am going to always give you the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency angle, but I also want to make sure that you know the rest of this stuff as well. So a couple of people were asking me, like, Naja, you mentioned hard assets, and digital assets are Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. That's some of the tokens, that's the blockchain. But what about hard assets? Tangible assets that actually hold value, and they hold it for the long term. And again, I feel like there's digital assets that you need to be holding for the long term as well. But when we're talking about hard assets, that absolutely matters too. And these assets are considered to be investable because they have some sort of intrinsic value. So companies and individuals purchase them for revenue growth. And I'll tell you that the trusts that we're putting together are purchasing these revenue growth opportunities. And you'll have a little bit of opportunity to invest with me that way too. And I'll share that. And I won't be DMing you, telling you to invest with me. I'm going to do it live in person, and you're going to know it's actually me on the screen talking to you about some of the opportunities that we have coming up. But oftentimes, these assets are considered fixed assets. And that's things such as businesses, buildings. Ah, man, I'm just on one today, ahead of myself. But buildings that you can put businesses in. So that is commercial real estate. We talked about what it looks like for commercial real estate owners right now that are really struggling because a lot of people are still working from home. Thereby, their companies don't need to rent the real estate anymore. And so we're going to have a massive opportunity to get some of these commercial buildings. What's going to be happening with the houses? There are a lot of people that are losing their jobs. They're not going to be able to make their mortgage payments. And so they're going to need a place to live. And they're not going to be able to buy, but they're going to be able to rent. And I'm going to bring you into this fold about why they're saying that by 2030, we will own nothing and smile about it. And I'm going to keep saying that until we really understand what that's all about and how all these puzzle pieces fit together as it relates to this cryptocurrency space as well, because we're doing something called tokenizations of buildings. And what is tokenization of buildings? A tokenization of a building means we buy a building. Let's just say we bought the Baldwin Hills shopping mall, which is what I suggested to the group of people that were trying to buy the Baldwin Hills shopping mall. And let us not do a regular real estate deal, but how about we do tokenization of the building? And what that looks like is I may have $1. Somebody else may have $1,000. Somebody else may have $100,000, and someone else may be able to afford to invest $1 million. We put all of those dollars together, no matter how much somebody has, and we divvy out tokens that actually equal up to the amount of ownership that we're going to each have based on the amount we were able to give into this building. It's called tokenization. Ladies and gentlemen, other communities are doing it right now today. It is not crowdfunding. It is totally different from crowdfunding. It is not a whole bunch of other things that we've been doing. This is the new way to actually purchase real estate, purchase residential and commercial buildings and land, plots of land. And so this is critically important. And I am not talking about buying buildings in the metaverse. And I'm going to talk about that again when we get down to one of these other asset classes. But the metaverse is not what I'm talking about. I do not suggest right now that any of us purchase any type of real estate in the metaverse. You know why? Because we got to have real life places to live. We got real life problems. And the metaverse right now, in my opinion, is a distraction. So if you are a metaverse lover and you're in there, I have absolutely nothing wrong with us playing the game of the metaverse, but we got to be in the game of life. And this chess game is happening right now, and you got to protect your king and queen. So that being said, one of the other assets in hard assets is equipment. I wouldn't suggest you do that. I told you the story about my very best friend who works for us, is in the C-suites of Ryder Truck. And she's talking about the equipment that they're replacing with small, little bitty, home looking office machines. And the fact that they told them that they're taking out the phone equipment and that they're going to have to pay to have a phone call come into them from their customers. Machinery, again, moving around. Those are hard assets that right now, I would say you put a pause on investing in those types of things until we find out exactly where this space is actually moving us, this space of uncertainty. As it relates to furniture, man, I got to break this down really quickly. Some furniture, ladies and gentlemen, can absolutely be beneficial to you. So I would say the only furniture that I would invest in, and I'm talking about me, not providing any financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor anymore on purpose. That would be a piece of art that's on the wall, maybe a Picasso or something like that, or a Barney. But never would I buy any furniture that I sit on or sleep on as an investment. Do you know why? I think back to my grandmother as I grew up in South Central LA in Watts. My mom went to work. She dropped me off on my vacations at my grandmother's house. And how many times did she have that furniture, ladies and gentlemen, that had that plastic on it that you couldn't even sit on? Heck, she had plastic. Why we couldn't sit on it? But she had that plastic, and she thought that Victorian furniture was the best thing since sliced bread, and she held it near and dear to her heart, and she didn't want nothing to happen to that furniture. And then she had this crystal on the tables that you couldn't touch, and the crystal was everywhere, and people didn't know how in the world. She had 15 grandkids in the house, and not one of those pieces of crystal got broken. That's because we knew better, that we better not touch it, because grandma held value to that crystal and held value to that plastic couch. And today I don't even want to see no plastic couch. It just left that etched in my brain. But when grandmama died, and we tried to sell that crystal at a yard sale, ladies and gentlemen, we couldn't get $1. and holler at me if you know what I'm talking about. And that furniture that did not have a stain on it because she had custom plastic put on it, we could barely get any money for that as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, furniture is not a hard asset. We buy vehicles. All these folks running around here buying these vehicles, trying to impress folks that don't care nothing about you. Ladies and gentlemen, you have got to make a conscious decision in this time not to try to keep up with the Joneses. If you have to buy an electric vehicle, do so, but make sure you're not buying it because you want to look the best or be the best. And what I decided, as you all know, last year when we needed a vehicle that I'm going to spend my next 5 years driving my little Toyota Prius because I'm not in the business of buying deflationary assets. I say assets over liability. And most of the cars that we drive off the lot, ladies and gentlemen, are liabilities and not assets. So think twice about buying that Harley. Think twice about buying that BMW. Think twice about buying the highest price Mercedes Benz you can, because is it worth it? Your dollars can be spent better investing in the hard assets you need to invest in as opposed to those that are going to continue to depreciate. And last but not least is gold. And there's other things that are hard assets, but I'm just going through a few. And I've been talking to each and every one of you about gold, the different types of gold, and we're doing the research. The numbers are in, but I will say this. If the economy tanks the way that we think it's going to tank, your gold will be good around the world. And if this economy doesn't tank the way most of you think it's not, your gold can be spent for goods and services anywhere around the world. So that sounds like a win-win to me. So, ladies and gentlemen, please take notice that a hard asset has some advantages and disadvantages. And I tell y'all, some of the time when I get on one, I just run out of time, but I've got to let you know that there are a lot of advantages of having hard assets because, again, you can hold them as a store of value and you can use them for different things. So even if you buy a house and it's vacant and you need some time, ladies and gentlemen, to go ahead and find something else to do with that asset, you can rent it out as an Airbnb. You can start to do weddings and different events or different things. There's so many things that you can do, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to usher those things into you as we continue to talk to you about things you can do right now in these times to ensure that your next 10 years looks totally better than everyone else's, because the middle class is disappearing. We have got to be nimble, we've got to be creative, and we've got to make some things happen for ourselves, because if we don't, somebody else is going to do it for us. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we come forward after news, sports, and traffic, we will jump into the cryptocurrency conversation. We talked about digital assets. That was hard assets. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
So what's happening is we have been perpetually doing every single thing they told us. But y'all, I'm here to tell y'all, if it ain't changed in 158 years after slavery ended, it ain't gonna change unless we get in our own system. And the system is Bitcoin specifically. I'm not in here talking about get rich quick. I'm talking about it's gonna take us 5 to 10 years of playing chess. This money game is a chess game. This ain't checkers, and they ain't playing with us. So if you really, really want to do something for yourself, do something for your kids, do something for your family, start strategically thinking about how to put $6 away worth of Bitcoin. We're not telling you to run out and get 30,000. I am actually out here begging our community to do something different than we've been doing, because they don't care about us. They are not coming to save us.
Right, welcome forward. Welcome forward. We are going to jump into the cryptocurrency conversation, and my phone again has been ringing off the hook, but it has also been pinging because people are sending me news articles about the killing of a Cash App founder, Bob Lee, in San Francisco that actually shocked the tech world. This has all to do with us, obviously, in the cryptocurrency space because he is actually the founder of Cash App. He's the founder of something called Mobile Coin. And, you know, I just have to tell you this. Over the last year, those individuals that are involved in Silicon Valley and cryptocurrency exchanges and different things of that sort, unfortunately, have been losing their lives. Multi-millionaires in cryptocurrency have been losing their lives. And I'm getting the text message about his passing, but I'm also getting texts from people saying something is smelling fishy. Be careful. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I just know that, it's a sad day when people continue to lose their lives because of innovation. And that's just what I'm feeling like. I never got a personal opportunity to meet Crazy Bob, but I've heard a lot of stories about what he did. And he also had his own wallet. His crypto wallet was called Moby. And so some of you do know that actor Hill Harper and myself, we have the Black Wall Street wallet. I'm a co-founder in that, even though that was his own brainchild. But it's really sad to see this is about the fifth or sixth shockwave that has hit the cryptocurrency community. And we just remain connected to the community, and we send our heartfelt sympathy to the family and to the friends. And the cryptocurrency world takes another loss. And so he moved to Mill Valley here in Southern California after his wife passed in 2019. And so he just a lot of things that are going on or have gone on. And so again, condolences to the family and to each and every one of you that are emailing me or texting me. Thank you for sharing your sentiments. Thank you for letting me know that you care and are listening in to make sure that my well-being is good. I'm good, and I just appreciate each and every one of you for reaching out. We just got to really be careful in these times. We don't know what's going on. And like anything that we get involved in, there are always going to be the powers that be that don't want to see things succeed. And so, you've got to live this life. And you've got to, once you live the life, you've got to make a commitment that if this is what you're going to do, you've got to really be ready for whatever comes your way. And so that is what I hear that he lived his life like. And I feel the same exact thing as Mr. Bob Lee as we again send condolences to his family. So where are we in cryptocurrency? Bitcoin right now is trading at $28,299. In the last hour, it's up 1.09%. In the last 24 hours, it's up 0.50%. And in the last 7 days, it's down 1.8%. It was all green just a second ago. And so, as Bitcoin goes up and down, it fluctuates. It literally just jumped in the last 7 days and down to the lower section. But Ethereum is still trading at 1,916. It's up in the last hour, 1.02%. In the last 24 hours, it is up 2.53%. In the last 7 days, it is up 6.11%. And as we look at all these other cryptocurrencies, specifically XRP, because a lot of our community holds that, I am looking to see what it's done, and it is up in the last hour, 0.31%. In the last 24 hours, 0.63%. And in the last 7 days, it is actually down 7.70%. And a lot of the price of XRP has all to do with what the last court decision is. And so we're going to see what that is very shortly. And y'all know Dogecoin and Shiba Inu went up substantially because Elon Musk did what he did with Twitter. And so from what I can see right now, Dogecoin is at 9%. It is up in the last hour, 1.56%. I don't even know if it's worth me talking about it because it's a meme coin. It was a play, in my opinion, to extract funds from our accounts by us going in buying what him and his son are selling because he made it clear that he buys Bitcoin and his son was holding Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. So if you're buying it right now, you're probably buying it from him. So I'm not even going to go through that. I don't even want to make it important enough to even be on the broadcast. But what I will say is most of the cryptocurrencies are following the leader. So instead of me buying the followers, I am buying the leader. And so that's what we're doing in the cryptocurrency space. Now, as we move into just really making sure and ensuring that we are all clear about the different asset classes. I talked last night a little bit about those asset classes on Mission Critical, and we are on a mission by any means necessary to get the information out to our community that they need to have. And so we're going to continue to build upon the building blocks that we've been building on. And so we're going to give everybody an opportunity to really learn some different things. And a lot of what we're doing, again, will be given to you right here on KBLA on Ahead of the Crypto Curve. But you've got to be diligent about listening in when you miss a show, helping us to get these downloaded apps for our friends and family all across the United States. And I'm going to tell you, if you're one of the people that are sending me a text message and you have questions, I am literally making sure that I'm answering those live on the air. Every single day that I get one, I'm going to answer that question. So if you're out there and you need a question asked or answered, please feel free to get it to me. Ladies and gentlemen, there are more banks that are on the verge of needing to get some assistance. And I'm going to be rolling those banks. I'm going to tell you about those banks. I'm going to go over those banks when we come forward, probably tomorrow, because I want to just make sure that I have the numbers right, because the numbers have to be the numbers. Oh, that's what I was going to make sure that I had to let you all know. A couple of you are asking me how true to the game is Snopes. Snopes is spelled SNOPES.com. I suggest anything that I say, you run it past Snopes. Now, 98% of the time, Snopes has been true to what is actually going on. But if the government doesn't want anyone to know about something, they're going to make Snopes take it down off their website, and you're not going to be able to verify it one way or the other. So Snopes is a good website to go to fact check. I'm going to continue to say to each and every one of you, do your due diligence. Check and make sure that everything that you've been taught, everything that someone says is actually the truth, because it is time out, ladies and gentlemen, for us taking the word of someone else and counting it as gospel. I'm even going to say that as it relates to our churches and our religious organizations. Please, ladies and gentlemen, do your due diligence with money and everything else around you. And if you go to Snopes and it happens to say something is not the truth, really do your digging on your own and really find out, because it is real. I do my very best to make sure that I give you factual things that I've taken off the websites from those individuals who are involved, not just somebody on the internet telling me something is about to happen or go on. And so I want you to do the same. I'm not a financial advisor providing any financial advice, but I am letting you know how to make sure or ensure that you and your family fare what is coming down the pipe for this year, next year, and many years to come. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we come forward, I have a couple of other things we need to talk about in the cryptocurrency space. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
So what's happening is we have been perpetually doing every single thing they told us. But y'all, I'm here to tell y'all, if it ain't changed in 158 years after slavery ended, it ain't gonna change unless we get in our own system. And the system is Bitcoin specifically. I'm not in here talking about get rich quick. I'm talking about it's going to take us 5 to 10 years of playing chess. This money game is a chess game. This ain't checkers, and they ain't playing with us. So if you really, really want to do something for yourself, do something for your kids, do something for your family, start strategically thinking about how to put $6 away worth of Bitcoin. We're not telling you to run out and get 30,000. I am actually out here begging our community to do something different than we've been doing, because they don't care about us. They are not coming to save us.
All right, welcome forward, welcome forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are having just a time really disseminating the information. And I say we're having a time is because there's so much, ladies and gentlemen, that needs to be done. We can't just do it all in one sitting. We've got to do several different things, and we've got to attack each angle of this different wealth transfer. And as I talk about hard assets, I want to let you all know, if you are interested in finding out about some of the hard assets in the digital space and some of the things that we're going to be doing, please feel free to reach out to me at 424-317-7373. Again, 424-317-7373. Tonight at 6 o'clock Pacific time, I am going to be speaking for an organization talking about digital real estate, tokenization, not digital real estate as in metaverse, but I'm going to be making sure that people are understanding how things are changing. Tonight at 6 o'clock, I am having the privilege of doing that for a group called Tabaverse. And so I'm going to do that this evening. Again, send me a text message or an email at asknajaroberts@gmail.com. If you want to attend, I'll send you the link. Again, it's asknajaroberts@gmail.com. I'm super excited about that. I'm also doing another Mission Critical tomorrow evening. And the reason I'm doing another Mission Critical tomorrow evening is because yesterday's Mission Critical was absolutely off the hook. And a lot of people were asking if there was going to be another one anytime soon. And we're getting ready to start a 6-week deep dive. And I need to get a few more people enrolled. We're only going to do a certain amount, but when we reach that certain amount, we're going to do a cutoff. So tomorrow, my Mission Critical will be shown again. I'm going to do it live, and you'll have access to it. Again, send me a text message or an email if you are interested in getting involved with either of those. I'll make sure that you get the link so you can get on. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a Crypto Essentials on Saturday. Please reach out as well. We're going to make sure that you get access to that Crypto Essentials. And then at the end of the month, April 22nd, we are going to be doing the Ledger and Me 1, 2, 3. And if you do not have your cryptocurrency on a Ledger device, which means it's on a cold storage device, a cold wallet, a hard wallet, whatever you want to call it. It's an actual physical device that you need to have your Bitcoin or cryptocurrency stored on so that you own it and not somebody else, not your keys, not your coin. You still have time to purchase one. I want everyone who gets on that call to already have one, because what I'm going to teach you how to do is go to the exchange, take your cryptocurrency off of the exchange, put it into your own space on the blockchain and lock it in with your ledger and hold it for safekeeping. And if you're anything like me, you're going to make sure that you have your Bitcoin and your cryptocurrency in a place where no one controls it. Because guess what? You are your own bank. And to whom much is given, much is required. And we want to make sure that each and every one of you stay safe in this space. And then at the end of the month, I'll be back in Houston to do some real estate, to buy some real estate, to make sure that we're doing that tokenization that I talked about sooner than later, because it is our turn. We have got to move in lightning speed, making sure that things are happening. And because we have the funding, we are blessed with the funding from a young lady who is the first African American female bank owner, bank charter in the United States. Her name is Benicia. We are literally utilizing her to ensure that we can get a lot of our things funded. And you can work with me. You can partner with me to see those things happen. Again, send me a text message to 424-317-7373 and we will get that going. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come forward, we are going to make sure that we continue the cryptocurrency conversation. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
So what's happening is we have been perpetually doing every single thing they told us. But y'all, I'm here to tell y'all, if it ain't changed in 158 years after slavery ended, it ain't gonna change unless we get in our own system. And the system is Bitcoin specifically. I'm not in here talking about get rich quick. I'm talking about it's gonna take us 5 to 10 years of playing chess. This money game is a chess game. This ain't checkers, and they ain't playing with us. So if you really, really want to do something for yourself, do something for your kids, do something for your family, start strategically thinking about how to put $6 away worth of Bitcoin. We're not telling you to run out and get 30,000. I am actually out here begging our community to do something different than we've been doing, because they don't care about us. They are not coming to save us.
Welcome forward. Welcome forward. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we go through this show ahead of the crypto curve, I have to just tell you, I am more than honored that I come behind the Millionaires Rounds table and then right before the Honorable D.L. Hughley. Ladies and gentlemen, this station has some incredible individuals. And I, again, say to each and every one of you, listen to KBLA more than not. I would suggest that moving forward, as we go into these difficult times, that you keep KBLA in your ear at work, at home, in your car, anywhere that you need to. And you're hearing it from me. And why is that? Because there's such great content when you just really sit down and see what it is that KBLA is actually dishing out to you, ladies and gentlemen. we are making a difference in not just our lives. You're making a difference in our lives, but we're making a difference all around the world. And you need to make sure that you are here to hear exactly what you need to know to get you and your family over this edge. And so it is just an incredible place to be. And I'm just forever grateful. As I stated earlier this week, I'm grateful for my KBLA family. I'm thankful for you. I really, really, really want to say to each and every one of you, I do not take you listening to me lightly at all. I thank you for entrusting me with giving you the right information. I thank you for listening in. I thank you for rocking with me. I thank you for everything you do. I thank you for sending text messages. I thank you for asking questions. All of those things are in my spirit of thankfulness today. And so this April 5th, 2023, ladies and gentlemen, I pray that we are in the right place at the right time, doing the right things. Save, save, save. And then when you think about it, save some more. We have got to make a difference in our families first and foremost, but we've got to make a difference in our community. And I am here, ladies and gentlemen, to love on each and every one of you and to give you that information, which is my love oozing out. And I don't know if you didn't hear the beginning of this show, go back and listen to the front of this show because I was on fire. I am excited. I'm losing my voice because I'm screaming so much because I just love y'all and I want you all to get it. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I just want to thank you for rocking with me here on Ahead of the Crypto Curve. And no matter what, I'm going to say hook, but definitely not crook. But a hook, I don't care what it is, by any means necessary. I am going to continue to try to help you become the millionaire you deserve to be. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got to look at money different. Not because we work for it, ladies and gentlemen, but because we deserve it. We deserve to have our way. It is our turn. So thank you again for rocking with me here on the Ahead of the Crypto Curve, where we are creating Satoshi millionaires and making way for the DL Hughley show, lest I forget that. But we're making Satoshi millionaires one family at a time, one day at a time, one Bitcoin at a time, one Satoshi at a time. And ladies and gentlemen, that means you.
You're listening to Naja Roberts on Ahead of the Crypto Curve. Please follow her on all social media platforms at Naja Roberts. No underscores, no dots, no numbers, just Naja Roberts. Let's close the wealth gap. It's our turn. This is KBLA Talk 1580. Learn or get left behind. Create your own economy. Let's get ahead of the crypto curve.